Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. It's one of those kind of days in Lagos, southwest of the country, where we're broadcasting from. You know, overcast, drizzling, it's all good. I hope it doesn't turn into anything more than that. I got the Lekki and Victoria Island floods on my mind, but one does get a bit apprehensive if it just happens to rain a little. On to serious matters, though. As you know, if you've been following our news in the past couple of weeks or so, the incident in Ikorodu, as you know, a town very, very close to Lagos, Badu cultists, as they have been dubbed. Nobody knows exactly what they are, where they come from, what they want. Everybody is speculating. There are ritualists, there are robbers. Traditional, rulers in the, area they've had a meeting, and they sort of pledged that they've got to redouble efforts to really unmask the so-called Badu cultists. The police, of course, have been very, very vigorous, and not less so since the Lagos State governor even now charged the police that this has to be taken out once and for all. And as they go about their work, the police and other investigative agencies, unfortunately, there might appear to be one or two mishaps, shall I say, one or two innocent victims of such a vigorous, perhaps if not so concerted an attack. I'm talking about, collateral damage, if you want. Now, I have two gentlemen in front of me, and the young men actually found themselves being arrested. What exactly they were arrested for, they didn't know. Nobody actually specified a charge, but it was all about this whole Badu cultist raids, because the allegation is that the cultists themselves have fled from Ikorodu and have gone to neighboring towns. Now, the two gentlemen that you can see are Mr. Ayo Francis. Mr. Ayo Francis is a journalist, and right next to him is Femi Ajala, who is a human rights activist writer. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
I hope you're not too much the worse for wear after your ordeal. But it's quite dramatic, the way it happened. Let me just set the scene and say that the incident that involves you, where you innocent victims or become an innocent victim of that particular investigation, it happened on Saturday, last Saturday, the 15th.
Yes, exactly.
And that it was in Obawole area.
Exactly.
Sure. And in Obawole area, those who might know, there's a joint, a recreational place called Stadium Bar.
Yes.
People watch football there, people, do what they do in bars there. Now, you two were in this vicinity, were in this location, in the bar.
Yes.
Let me take it from you, Ayo. What happened? You were in the bar. It was between 4 and 5 p.m. Saturday evening, enjoying yourselves. Take it from there. Okay,
sir. Yeah, precisely around that time. We normally hang around there every weekend, even most times on daily basis. After the close of work, we relax there. It's more like a family bar. We have the register of everybody that attends that bar. We hardly see new faces. Even if we see any new face, we ask questions.
Yes.
Who are you?
Yes.
Where are you coming from?
Yes.
Because we don't want
But what happened on that Saturday between 4 and 5?
We were sitting there. Suddenly, I saw convoys of police, neighborhood watch, civil defense, Nigerian Air Force, almost about 20 to 25 vehicles. They parked, walk up straight to us. I was even just wondering, what are these guys looking for? Because I don't expect anything like that. So the next thing was that they rounded everybody up, told them to stand up, hold each other, marched them into the Black Maria. They came inside the bar where I was seated with him and some other people. And we are told to do the same thing. We have to hold ourselves. We are told to go straight into the Black Maria. No questioning, nothing. They seized all the phones, but I didn't submit my own. They seized everybody's phone. I was even asking, what is the problem? Okay. Nobody was willing to respond to us.
Okay. And now, Femi, you were together when this happened.
Yes.
Around how many people would you say, I don't know if you were able to count, but if you were to give an estimate, how many people were involved in that particular raid? That got invited into the Black Maria, to put it delicately.
at the stadium?
More than 30.
At stadium.
More than 30.
If I understand you properly,
yes, sir.
These were patrons at this stadium bar,
Yes.
so-called,
Yes.
in Obawole.
Yes.
So you think about 30 is what you're saying?
Yes, over 30 of us, but as we speak, I have names and phone numbers of 29 people.
Oh, you've done a bit of research.
Yes,
following that.
I have with me
Now
names
tell me what happened when all of you guys were put in the Black Maria. You've described that this Black Maria it's not as if it was a rogue operation or anything like that. It was police. There were other agencies,
Joint Air Force.
Yes.
Neighborhood Watch, all
Civil
these,
defense.
civil defense,
Air
yeah.
Force.
Yeah. Now what happened? Now you're in the Black Maria. Where did they take you?
They took us first to Ogba, area G or area F.
Yes.
But they just stopped
They
there.
stopped briefly.
That's my producer's telling me that might be a G command.
Is
Yes,
G
area G
at
command.
Ogba.
And they stopped there briefly. They came down, spoke a little bit to the officers on ground, and then they got on board.
They still hadn't told you anything?
No, they didn't ask questions.
As I understand it, right from Stadium Bar in Obawole, you were not told what an offense that you might have committed
Up to
is.
this moment that I'm talking with
Okay,
you.
so now
they
you
have
were-
not said this is what you have done.
So
this
now
is the
you were in
offense that you have
Area
committed.
G, police officers talked to each other, and then what happened after
And then
that?
they moved to Bolade Oshodi, the task force office.
With the Black Maria, you guys still
Yes,
involved?
we are all in the Black Maria.
Okay, please, when you got to the task force office in Bolade Oshodi, what then?
Yeah. We were treated in one of the most dishumane conditions you can think of. We were told to alight from the Black Marias to sit on the bare floor. I was sitting on a white native. I was trying to remove the slippers so that I can sit on the slippers so that my set doesn't get sore. One of them kicked.
That annoyed someone.
At that point in time,
Yes.
I got furious and I told him I should go get my slippers for me. So at that point, the PPRO came in, which famous co said they should be calm. We sat on the floor. They start taking our names, our addresses, and our phone numbers. After doing that, all of us was marched into the cell.
Okay,
As at that point in time,
the officer you mentioned is the Command Public Relations Officer Olanide, famous call.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, I mean, after taking our informations, we were just marched into the cell. At that time, we haven't been told anything.
You still hadn't, were you asking, say, what is it exactly
Nobody
that this
was-
is all
nobody
about?
was responding. Nobody was responding.
Severally,
A lot of
nobody
other
was ready
individuals.
to tell us, this is the charge, these are your offenses, this is what you have done.
When he says you were then led into a cell, what kind of a cell was it? Like, how many people in a cell? What were the conditions?
In the cell, there were two cells.
Okay.
Where the victims
there were actually
of raid
three
for that
cells
day.
there.
There were actually three cells. One, they isolate, there were people already there. So they didn't mix those people with the new ones that they brought.
Yes.
But the new ones that they brought, over 100 of us, about 110, 120 thereabout. Because after the Obawale, they went other places and took more people.
Yeah.
So the cell where I was, very small place, 64 people.
You counted? You actually
I
counted?
counted 64.
There were 64 people in one room?
Yes, sir.
Which is a cell?
Yes.
Was that a similar experience to where you were also accommodated?
Exactly. When we initially put into the cell, it was even so dark. I called the attention of one of the police officers that they should come get a light to light this place up. And because normally myself, it's not my first time of having such an experience with the police, so I've taken a strategic position to sit right from my university days. It's been there like that. So I've taken a strategic position to sleep because thinking that I felt I'm going to spend the night there.
Now, at this point, you still had not been told. You said your details had been taken. So by now, the police knew that you were Ayo Francis and you were Femi Ajala by this time.
Yes.
But they still had not exchanged information with you that this is why you're here. What do you know about this matter?
Yes, not until around 8 o'clock.
Okay,
We
of
are
that
told-
same Saturday.
Exactly. We are now told to come out again. So, in my instinct, I believe definitely maybe a senior police officer should be around. So I strategically made sure I sit in front of one of the rows. We are rolled to sit on the floor, 10 per row.
Well, this was the only thing I can think of calling this is processing. They were processing some sort of
Yes.
No matter how distasteful it might sound, it has to fall under the category of police processing.
Exactly.
So 8 p.m., they now bring you guys out again.
Yes. At that point in time, a senior police officer, DCP Edgar, came. I mean, he was moving around in his intelligence sense and tried to size up us. He was looking at me. He came to me, really, and asked, so I should identify myself. And I introduced myself as Amayo Francis, and I'm a journalist and a consultant as well. He said, do I have any means of identification with me? I said, no, that my house is just a few meters away from where we are all arrested. The next thing he said actually baffles me. He said, that's the way you guys give yourself big title. Which means at that point in time, that I've been convicted to be guilty.
It didn't look like this was getting off to a good start.
Exactly.
By the way, when you were, I don't know if it's apprehended is the word, but when the police
were rounded up, maybe to see who's rounded up.
When you were rounded up, you guys being as knowledgeable as you are, didn't someone say, hang on, I can identify myself. What do you want? What's the problem?
The DCP told, there's this guy that
no, it wasn't that. At the time we were apprehended at Obawale.
At Obawale.
At least there are one or two guys that they are with the identification card. There's even a particular guy, he works with multi-choice.
Yes.
He was flashing his identity card.
They said they were not interested.
Was willing to listen.
Like I said
earlier on, the PPRO famous school was there.
At Obawale.
Exactly.
Okay.
He was with them.
She was, you know that she was there?
Yes.
Because famous school is a, it's a he.
Yes.
It's a he, I beg your pardon. You're right. Okay. So that's that situation in Obawale. I've just established that you actually tried to flash some ID.
Identification card. But those are holding an identification card. I'm not with any.
Yes, but those that did have, the police weren't interested.
Exactly.
Now we have to go back to where we got to before, which is 8 p.m. Saturday. It looks like things are getting better, but then
when did this
Femi has just been told that that's how you guys used to give yourself big titles.
Yes.
Now, in your what was your experience about the 8 o'clock? Were you part of that whole 8 o'clock?
I was part of it. I was sitting not
too far from him.
Two rows away from him.
You guys had chairs, plastic chairs? Or
we were sitting on the bare floor.
We were sitting on the bare floor.
Okay, while this processing was going on.
Okay. And then when the DCP came, very arrogant.
Well.
Very arrogant. I'm sorry to say this. Well, maybe that is his courage. Maybe that is his natural courage.
Tell me what happened. Tell me what happened.
He came and he said, somebody was trying to flash his ID card. He said, I'm not interested.
Okay.
Does it mean that because you carry ID card, you don't commit crime?
So by now, you guys knew that this was a bad dream that was getting worse by the minute.
So
we are now at 8 p.m.
It does not matter who you are.
We're now at 8 p.m. or thereabouts on Saturday evening. You guys had been rounded up at between 4 and 5 in Obawale.
Yes.
So how was it resolved finally?
Okay. Let me say, when you said at that point in time, it wasn't even a bad dream that was getting worse. It hasn't even gotten to that.
Okay.
When it actually got worse was when the TV people came in. Somebody from here and somebody from LTV.
Okay, wait a minute. I beg your pardon. This was in the night.
Yes.
Quarter to around 8 o'clock.
It
was at that stage that TV crews were brought in.
Yes.
Okay, so they needed lights. They came with their lights.
The place was well lit up.
8 o'clock, but it was a very well-lit place that you people were seated on the floor at.
Exactly.
You were still on the floor?
Exactly.
Okay.
So they set up an interview camera for the DC. And when the DC was to grant the interview, by the time he was granting the interview, we haven't been spoken to. Okay. And he said, because he was standing very close to where I was, that based on credible intelligence, that it is an effort by the Commissioner of Police and it must be sustained, that they were able to round up about 110 hoodlums.
Okay.
Bado people that fled, they had information that the Bado guys that fled Ikorodu are now living around Obawale, Ishaga, Akute axis that borders Ogun State. And that the people are aware that the local government election in Lagos State is coming up very soon, and they want to make sure that the society is free of hoodlums. Okay. We have not been spoken to.
At this stage, what you
that was
did,
when
you were reporting. You're reporting
what DC, the interview the DC granted the TV stations,
and you had not been spoken to.
We haven't been spoken to yet. And at that point, we have been condemned to be part of Flim Bado boys, hoodlums.
Well, you hadn't been condemned, but I understand the way you feel because at that point, Femi, is where you now had a very clear notion of what this was all about.
Yes,
that
sir.
It involved Badu people, Badu boys, and you had not been spoken to.
No.
Okay, proceed. Did you go home on Saturday night?
No.
Oh, you guys had to sleep.
Yes.
Okay.
I went on Saturday.
Okay. Okay.
After.
Because he went home on Saturday, let me see how he fixed himself. How did you extricate yourself and sleep in your own bed on Saturday?
Okay, I will say this. I mean, as much as we might condemn the police, there are still some of them that they are
But
professional.
nobody's condemning the police.
I say as much as we,
when
I say general, we as a society might condemn them.
Might criticize.
Exactly. Criticize them.
Criticize
there
the
are
police.
still one of them that they are highly professional. And without taking anything away from the DCP, I want to say thank you to, maybe I think it's ACP Abiodun.
So what
Alamutu.
did he do? What did he do?
The lady from LTV, when he got wind that he's a journalist, so he was one that was now trying to talk to them that, I mean, this guy is not meant to be here. He has introduced himself. So when the panel that the DC promised would be set up immediately after he addressed us, I don't know, we were marched back to the cell.
Yes.
So while we got there, I got one of the police officers came that, who is the journalist here? So I came out and I went to him. One other person came out as well, said he's a journalist as well. So, and he was told that, I was told he's one of you, that how come you are two? And I said, if you could play back the recording of the DC when he was here, this is what I told him, caught on camera. And the man said, okay, don't worry, take his details, let him go. Okay. And that was how I was freed.
So that's how you went and slept on your bed that night. Now, you are a human rights activist, a writer, and you made the distinction that you're not a journalist, but you're a writer. That didn't count for very much with the police.
He didn't ever have that privilege of even introducing himself.
They didn't even give me the chance to say one word.
I see.
They didn't give me the chance to say one word. So after the DC granted his interview, and then he promised us there and then that a panel will be set up that night.
Yes.
And then those that are not found wanting will be allowed to go home.
This was after the TV crews had left?
This was after the TV crew
has left. He has granted his interview.
When he was
has
done
described
with his
that
interview.
100 hoodlums were arrested.
Where he had said...
And then he said a panel will be set up.
Yes.
To screen.
Oh, okay. He said that was part of...
No, it wasn't part of the interview.
It wasn't part of the interview, no. But it was part of what he told you.
What he told us after he had finished granting his interview.
I understand you.
He now told us
that
a panel will be set up and all of us will be screened.
Okay.
Those that are not found wanting will be allowed to go home.
And those that need continuous
verification, yes.
So, in this way, you slept overnight. You were able to fortunately go home. What happened the next day? You did. Was it very early the next day? How did you now?
The panel was not set up that night.
Okay.
So they took us into the cell. It was a horrible experience. It pained me that I didn't have phone to take pictures from the cell. See, there's these two toilets. One of them, water was oozing out of it. Some of us spent the night on our feet. Some of us had to sit down on the urine, the water from the toilet that was, when they got tired, they couldn't stand anymore. They had to sit down on the water. That was how we spent the night. We were held for over 20 hours. Nobody offered us water, nobody offered us food. Over 20 hours. And nobody told us that this is what you have done wrong.
The pictures we're seeing right now, that looks like the, the picture is gone, but it looks like the environment you were describing where you were all seated. This picture here that you're seeing.
It's most like
that's where you were all seated on the floor, but...
That's the picture.
Yes, that is the picture. That's the image.
Okay.
That's the image.
Yes. Okay. So the following day, the panel was set up.
The panel was set up.
It screens the
around 1.
Yes, they're about around 1, 2
around 1, 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
they came.
Okay, but by the way, since last night that you had been there, the catering arrangements, what were those like?
Nothing.
Private arrangements. If you have a family that comes to see you,
okay.
If you are lucky.
Okay, that was that. They weren't responsible necessarily for
no,
feeding
they were. That's why I said for over 20 hours, nobody gave nobody water, nobody gave nobody food.
Oof. And then finally, they let you go. Okay, so I imagine that you must be feeling. By the way, you are out on bail because
no.
The panel just came.
No exchange of money.
What do you do? What's your name? Blah blah blah.
And then,
just like that.
And really, that was the end of it. And that's why you were here. That look. By the way, would you know? I imagine you wanted to get out of there quick, but being journalists and all, you might have been interested in. Did everybody there go back to their house?
No. In the raid of Saturday, 30 people were left behind for further questioning. Investigations, so to say. But there were 3 cells there. There were this middle cell that we met some guys there. On Sunday, I went back there as well because I can't just sit back and my friends are still there. So the guys in the middle cell, when they saw that some of the guys that came on Saturday have been let go, they were pleading, sir. So I walk up to them. Okay, what did you guys do? What is actually your offense? Similar thing. They said they were rounded up. Of course, alleged that they didn't do anything. They were rounded up and stuff like that. So, and some of them even said since Friday evening that they have been there without questioning, without trials. They've been held there.
So they were still there on Saturday.
As of Sunday afternoon,
on Sunday,
they were still there.
They were still there. And now you guys are free. But what this is all about, why we're speaking about this, is what can sometimes happen to innocent people. It's unfortunate. It looks like a casualty of police investigation methods because some of the things that were now done after you guys had reached there, if they had been done in the beginning, they might not have needed to host you guys at all. Ishak in Jos, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Good morning to your guest.
Indeed.
Thank you very much.
Ishak, my mom calling from Jos. Mr. Yori, I sympathize with your for having gone through this sad experience with the police. That is the normal norm. Nigerian police are unprofessionals. I'm sorry to say that. The police are meant to protect life and property of citizens and not punish citizens. It's a normal norm in our society where if you have a new commissioner of police in the state or a DPO, they want to show citizens that they are working. So at times they will just go without gathering intelligence, just go and pack people or innocent people and gather and try to show off that they are doing something. I think that is not how the policing should. In a civilized clan, police rely on intelligence so that innocent person will not be punished. So hence we advise that our police need reorientation so that they will be able to discharge the duties, which is their constitutional responsibility of protecting life and properties. So that is my take. I once again sympathize with your guest in the studio.
Yeah,
thank you very much, Ishak.
Thank you very much, Ishak. And a part of the complaint of the gentleman is that, look, you brought a camera, you had not spoken with us, you brought 2 TV stations, you called us hoodlums that had been rounded up, miscreants and hoodlums, and
Badu boys.
And connected us, no matter how, connected us with Badu boys. We hadn't said one word for ourselves. So I imagine you guys are not feeling very, very good that police might have been as even-handed as to say, look, okay, we've found out that these guys are clear. They don't need to be with us anymore. That was not done.
Yes.
So I understand. But you wanted to say something.
Let me tell you what happened when I got home.
Sure.
My 5-year-old son. There was a day where police paraded some people. I was with him in the sitting room on the television. I said, Daddy, what did they do? I said, they are armed robbers. Police paraded them on TV.
Yeah.
And so, okay, police do arrest armed robbers.
Yes.
That's what registered in his mind.
Yes.
So when I got home, Daddy, Mommy said police arrest you. Daddy, are you armed robber?
There you go. I mean, I was almost.
My heart was broken.
I can imagine. We have someone else on the line.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay, Michael is my name. I'm calling from.
Good morning, Michael.
All right, good morning, sir. Similar thing happened yesterday in Ajegunle. They raided almost everywhere in Ajegunle. If you go to Ajegunle yesterday, it was a hell. People coming from work, people in their workshop, people cooking, they raided everybody. The excuse they gave was that election is coming. If the election is coming, everybody should run scatter and helter. The police should be called to order to do their job thoroughly, so that every time and hurry they see in the street.
Okay, Michael, you're speaking about Ajegunle.
Yes, yesterday.
Ajegunle boundary, or the
boundary Ajurumi, Tolodu.
Okay. And the explanation you got was that it's because of the fast approaching election.
That is the excuse they gave yesterday.
Okay.
That place yesterday in the evening, it was like a market square. Some people with people shouting, women, men, boys. I mean, they should do their job in the. If the police is their friend, they are not friendly.
Yeah, but Michael, I just wanted to know, did the police in that operation that you saw, if you saw it, did they put anybody in a Black Maria?
Oh my God, they were stealing down from the driver, loading people in. They will go and drop. They will just go out and bring it. They will tell you they are from a flashpoint. Everywhere become a flashpoint.
Okay, thank you very much for calling in, Michael. Thank you. So, Michael is, saying that, look, it happened in our area too, and maybe other people in other parts of the country have the experience, maybe not. Hopefully, it's not a very widespread thing.
Exactly. What I want to say is this. I mean, it's not just for us just criticizing the police. Many of us have ideas that we can offer that will help the police.
Okay, one moment. I beg your pardon for interrupting you. Okay. Yakub Dokwemo, good morning.
Yeah, she's very good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
And then good morning to the two girls in the studio.
Thank you very much.
I really sympathize with you people. I have some questions this morning. The first question is this. I think everybody listening to television around this state and outside this state, you are told then, when Bado is rampaging Ikorodu, that anybody that wants to move out in Ikorodu should go out with ID card. Now, the question is this. The gentleman in the studio tell us this morning that there are some people within themselves where they are carrying the issue, that they are trying to flash their ID card, and then police will not listen to them. So, definitely the first impression they give to the Lagos State citizen is that go out with your ID card, and then they are not giving us another information that even though you go out with your ID card, it has of no relevance to whatever they want to do. Exactly. You can imagine somebody that does not do anything, and then today, a lot of people in Ikoyi prison today crying that they don't know what they carry them to that place. Now, look at the stage where the DCP address them. They are hoodlums, they are bado, they are this, that. As soon as they parade them in their broad light, that somebody like us see them. Today now, club is thought that these two people are Bado members.
Yeah.
Because the first impression given to them is that they have already rampaged the hoodlums and Bado and all that.
Yeah.
Now they give them another information that, okay, wait, when we conduct investigation, we'll let you to go and all that. See, assuming that their children listen to this, and before they got home, look at the second person say that.
Yeah. I understand. I can understand. Yeah, exactly. You're narrating back to us what we have just been told. It is quite worrying. We appreciate what you're talking about. We're going a quick break. Don't go anywhere, please. We'll take your calls, and we're looking at police-community relations as they go about their legitimate duties. Stay with us, please. Welcome back to Citizens, Ayo Francis and Femi Ajala. Citizens of the Federal Republic, they just happened to be in Obawole on Saturday the 15th, enjoying themselves, relaxing on a Saturday evening between 4 and 5, and then they were visited by law enforcement. And till 8 o'clock on that same Saturday, by which time they had reached
tax office in
Bolade Oshodi. And TV crews were they were being told, I mean, the world was being told on TV that hoodlums were being arrested. But we have, you know, a recording of what might be the actual reason for the police action.
Hoodlums are now looking for safer zones, especially places that border with our neighbors. There's a border route between Iju and Akute communities in Ogun State. For two reasons. First, to get most of these hoodlums who are fleeing from Ikorodu. And secondly, you know, the countdown to the forthcoming councillorship and local government elections is on. We want to make sure that hoodlums are not brought in to border communities in preparation to cause some form of problem during the elections.
Well, that's as good an explanation as anybody was going to get on that Saturday. By the way, you guys were actually there, where the gentleman,
we were seated on the floor.
And that was when you knew that, okay, talked about Badu here, talked about oncoming elections. So you must have been feeling, so how does any of this concern me? You must have been feeling that.
For crying out loud. You want to arrest a hoodlum or a Badu member, you go to the heart of a residential area.
In a bar
on a Saturday evening. And you round people up and you refuse to allow them to identify themselves.
Okay, so when you put it like that, because that is actually what you experienced, it sounds a bit stupid to ask, so how do you feel? But this whole matter about the police doing their work, about maybe over-enthusiasm, maybe about a certain crudity of methods, is there anywhere in you that you can sort of find some sort of an understanding as to what happened, that you just happened to be unlucky?
I appreciate the efforts of the state government to secure lives and property of citizens. I appreciate the efforts of the Nigerian police. See, if the police is not around, probably we won't be seated here. You understand me? But the police swore oath to protect citizens.
And so you'd appreciate a bit more thoroughness.
In their efforts to ensure safety of lives and properties, the people they swore oath to protect should not become victims in their hands.
Indeed. Jide is on the line. Agege, I believe. Good morning, Jide.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, I must commend you for this program, Mr. Yori. You are doing a wonderful job. But I want to encourage those guys there. Can't just sue the police, because this is becoming of our police in this country. Intelligence before going to that place to raid people. It's not based on any tangible intelligence. If they have intelligence, they won't do that kind of work. See, this kind of thing has happened in my area before. I was standing at the bus stop, and all of a sudden, we saw police with vans arresting people everywhere. And I just stood there. I didn't run, and luckily, they didn't just come to me. I was waiting for them to come and meet me and arrest me, but they did not. Because I didn't run away. If I had run, they would have come and also put me in their black Maria.
Of course.
I think our police, they have to learn. They have to invest money on intelligence gathering.
Okay.
I don't know where they gather their intelligence from.
Okay.
I don't just know.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in and contributing that experience. But it was interesting experience he contributed. Yeah. That, look, when it happened in his area, he knew he was good. He knew he was clean. So he had nothing to run for. Exactly. So he didn't panic. And let's face it, anywhere in the world, law enforcement arrives, you run, they are going to chase you.
Exactly.
You are going to become immediately suspicious.
Exactly.
But I understand in the panic, the way some people react. So one understands what he is saying. You know, police, the methods might not have been the most refined.
Exactly.
But as he said, he understands that they're doing their work, but it's a bit painful that I'm supposed to be the object of the whole purpose of the police being in existence.
Okay, the thing is this. There are better ways in which the police, this experience actually opened my eyes to something.
Sorry, I understand the certain Mr. Adesina in Ojo has been holding on.
Okay,
so I'm sorry to interrupt you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Please go ahead, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Yes, good morning to you, the guests with you in the studio.
Thank you very much.
It's what it goes through. But Uncle Yori, I want you to know that overzealousness is not seen to be encouraged in any organization, in any force among we security personnel. But let me say one thing. They will not be making for them to arrest 200 or 300 people, and they have they have made some arrests because of the issue of battle that was on rampage, and they think they can that will gladden the heart of the people. That is not the issue. Uncle Yori, if things are working properly, if I will do my own job conscientiously, and I know that I'm duty bound to do it to the letter without any eye service, without getting any accolade from any superior person. I don't need to go to that extent of arresting. Okay, what about those who don't have an ID card? There are market women, there are people that don't have ID card. So that means they will all just label them completely as bad men. Bad issue started since last year, June. And look at the people that have died without intelligent, nitty-gritty report on how to nab these people at the board. And we are going to communities and arrest everybody. You are not going to please me by that. What about those who have died? What about all this while? What have we been doing? Our police should be more trying to be more, instead of reactionary, we should do more preemptive policing.
Okay then, Mr. Adesina, I understand you. I appreciate you. I understand what you're saying. And it brought up something that a lot of people ask to talk about, that, look, it often happens. Governor Ambode, our governor in Lagos State, he got in on the act and said, look, he put his foot down.
Yeah. Police, with all the logistics I'm giving you, why is crime rate in Lagos this high?
How is this kind of a thing happening? Police, escalate their already high efforts. But it leads to what people have said, that sometimes they suspect the police might be doing what we call locally eye service.
Exactly.
And
that's
if that allegation has anything at all in it, and then I suppose the police need to take another look at it. I don't know that they need to be engaging in eye service, as some people allege, but it's hard to explain. You said somewhere in the region of about 200 people, as far as you could see, where...
About that day, the DC in the interview said about 110 was arrested.
Okay.
And what I wanted to even add before the call came in was that there are better ways in which the police could go about doing their job and gathering intelligence. There is no way in this country that the police could gather intelligence without the support of the citizen.
Yes.
Now, some of the guys that was arrested at Ishaga area that were in the same cell, the way those guys was boiling, they see that the system has wronged them and they are not willing to assist the system anymore. While you are trying to eradicate crime, you are creating another set of monsters.
You're criminalizing other people.
So there is no way.
Kings is on the line and I don't want to lose you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Uncle Yori, good morning.
Thank you very much for calling in. Good morning.
Good morning, your guest.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm actually calling from Newman in Adamawa State.
We're glad to have you.
Kandi, not Kings. K-A-N-D-I.
K-A-N-D-I. N-D-I. Kandi.
Yes, please.
Kandi.
Yes, please.
Kandi is the correct name.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much for calling in and welcome, Kandi.
Yeah, in fact, my heart bleeds when I watch what is going on today. Because I remember 10 years ago, it happened to my 70-year-old mother. There was a crisis in my community, and my mother was taken into a Black Maria at the age of 70. And I felt so bad. My heart bleeds when I watch these two gentlemen talking. What if in this country, if you don't have anybody? That is one. Secondly, the police, I feel so ashamed that the commissioner or whosoever it is that came and told the whole world that these people are hoodlums. Now, how can the police do that? And we all claim the police is working for you. For goodness sake, where are we heading to in this country? The police is supposed to be your friend. But if the police will humiliate you, where do you go to when there's a problem, for goodness sake? Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Candy. They even put a Y there. But thank you very much. It's an I. K-A-N-D-I.
Yes.
So, you know. Well, she brought up another matter which has also been simmering, is the problem of parading people that have not been charged.
Not even investigated.
That have not even been investigated.
Yes. People that have not been processed.
And so it looks like everybody is busy. The police is busy, the TV crews are busy, everybody is busy shooting film, and you know,
asking questions.
And nobody has actually been investigated yet.
Exactly. That's
and
just
as it happened now, in the quiet after the whole storm, when the recording was made, you guys now go home, and only you know that
I have to now prove my innocence.
You know,
that's just the society.
That is why a lot of some media houses don't take film like that. This whole matter about police parading suspects and that kind of a thing, they're on the way to sort of discouraging it as much as possible now. Mazi Okoroafo, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Sir Yori. Good morning, our guests in the studio.
Good morning.
Honestly speaking, Sir Yori, all these Bado, whether they're Bado or Babu, whatever, all those Bado, whether they're Bado, all of them, they are all criminals. We have to treat them like terrorists. Now you ask yourself, the traditional rulers, what are they doing? Even the youth in that community, what are they doing? So it is the responsibility of the youth in that community to make sure they tackle all these issues. But we cannot have all these issues. East, west, north, and south of Nigeria, we're having terrorists all over. Now what do? Nobody should talk about poverty or they are looking for jobs. That one is rubbish. We have to call a spade for Nigeria to move forward. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day in Lagos.
Bless you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mazi Okoroafo. And my two guests would be the first to agree with you that very stern measures have to be taken. Exactly. But that it now crossed over to what you guys must see as an infringement of your fundamental human rights.
Exactly.
In fact, somebody even asked, can they be sued? You know, you were telling me off air about that a lawyer had actually visited you, and that he had said that, look, if we are not careful...
let me narrate the story to you.
If I had been there...
This is a lawyer that is a regular there, among the regulars there, somebody that has been called to the bar for over 30 years. On Sunday, he was not around on Saturday. So on Sunday, we picked him up to come around. And after the whole thing, he went to the PPRO to introduce himself. I want to tell that bar, I hang out there as well. I was surprised by what the PPRO said, that if you had been around, you would have been arrested as well. And you'll be made to go through the process and see whether it is positive or negative you have to say about the police.
Okay. Okay, so, well, I don't know. Well, I want us to be careful about police methods. You don't know if they had been casing that particular joint, whereupon they now, after extensive investigations, they decided to now move into the action phase of their surveillance. One can't tell.
But, sir,
because when you were being told that if whoever had been there on that day would have been arrested.
Exactly. Let us do a little bit of semantics here.
I understand. Yeah. Lawrence is calling in from an area called Alamo. Did I get that right? Good morning, Lawrence.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Sayori.
Thank you for calling in, sir. Go ahead.
I'm calling from Olambe, Ogun State, via Akute.
I'm sorry. From Olambe in Ogun State. Go on. Go ahead, please.
How are you, Mr. Sayori?
Very well, thank you. Glad to have you.
Thank you
very much.
The problem we have in Nigeria is like we are just moving like a Baba chair. All over the world, you put police on the road to check people. You have to go around. Who check the police on the road? Each day they stop cars, they ask you to hands up, they check all manner of things. At the end of the day, they didn't find anything. Go to the police station across Lagos State. What are they doing there? Did anybody evaluate what they are doing? In Lagos State, we have a very commissioner of police who speak police England English. But does he understand what happened on the field? Visit, I can give you an example. Visit Grammar School Police Station. Visit Israeli Police Station. Go and see the madness that is going there every day. Especially in Sherry, if you want to enter Lagos by the express road, they ask one manner of question. You ask yourself. Some people even ask me one day, am I in Nigeria? Where am I going? Am I a Christian? Those are kind of people you see that I can find on the road.
Okay.
I didn't say there's no best fine officer among them, but Nigerians should decide what kind of police
I
we want.
hear you, Mr. Lawrence. I hear you. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me.
Yes,
I hear you, Mr. Lawrence. But you'll have to probably accept that it is the exception rather than the rule. This is not how police do anyhow. There are going to be these exceptions. You probably agree.
I've said it. Not all of them.
Okay.
We have 5 brilliant intelligence officers among police.
Okay.
But those who are well educated must able to see what those guys on the road are doing day in, day out. And there must mechanism to check people who they brought to police station, whether actually they commit any offense or not.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. We have brilliant intelligence officers among the police. I didn't use general qualification for all of them. We have brilliant people who are well intelligent, well educated, perform very well. But those guys on the field, they rob them of good name.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Lawrence. And it is because it is the exception is why it is making news. That's why we're talking about this. It's unfortunate. People can see you guys.
Yes.
So how can anybody come along and just say, I don't want to see your ID cards, you know, if that is indeed what was said, into the Maria, Black Maria, and then you end up on the floor, sitting on the floor like that.
Exactly. And, you know, when the exception to the rule are becoming too much, it's gradually becoming the norm.
Well,
that's just the thing.
Especially if you have experienced it.
Exactly, and
especially
even when
if you have experienced
that's just it. I mean, like
it's going to feel that much. It's going to hurt that bit more.
And again, I want to appeal on the police authority, especially those people up there. I understood one thing with them. Once they have a fixation about something, they don't want to listen to an idea. They don't want to listen to an idea, whether your idea might help them in unraveling the case they want to try to resolve. When you say you have credible intelligence, credible intelligence, how come credible intelligence to arrest about 33 people suspected hoodlums were eventually released without anything?
Without any charge. It's a paradox.
No, when I know
it's a paradox, especially when we're waiting expectantly for news on the Bado criminals, on the real cultists, where everybody is anxious for news. Unfortunately, the dragnet of the police, perhaps it was too wide. It's catching innocent journalists that are relaxing on a Saturday evening.
If their purpose was to impress the governor that they are working, Mr. Governor, sir, they just sold to you a dummy.
Rose is on the line. Good morning, Rose. Thank you for holding on.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
Good morning to your guests.
Good morning.
Please, Uncle Yori, the police, they are not working. Even at the Ikorodu where I'm living, they arrest people anyhow. You show them your ID card. Our husband doesn't go to work any longer. When they go to work, if they are coming back, police will arrest them on the road. So is that how they should work? Please, they should help us. Even the Bado people, they say they are free from Ikorodu. They are still in Ikorodu. They are still disturbing us. So please, people should help us.
Okay.
And they are to save life and property. They help us. And save us, because they are still stopping. Even yesterday, they caught one Bado at Ikorodu here. The police carried them away. Even the family that they killed at Ikorodu, the landlord confessed that he's among the Bado. I was expecting to hear it in the newspaper, but I didn't hear that.
Okay.
So they should help us.
All right then. Thank you very much, Madam Rose, for calling in. We started off angry. The police are not worth it. But then she ended up saying that the police should just help us, which means they are capable. Yes. They are actually worthy, but they can, some of their methodologies, you know, you don't feel charitable when you see it. And this must be what, it's not that it must be. I know it worries the police as well. We speak with the police often, and as you have testified, that is not really the regular Nigeria policeman. That's not my job. I'm not a PR for the police, but everybody attests that, yeah, it's just that because it so violates your personal space, people feel very, very badly about it. Ebuka is on the line from Kaduna. Good morning, Ebuka.
Yes, Uncle Yoro, good morning.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
Thank you, and good morning to your guests.
Thank you, Ebuka.
I want to sympathize with them about the ordeal they've gone through or they went through.
Thank you very much.
When listening to them, I was just laughing. I was like, oh no. Unfortunately, they've been caught in Nigerian police trap or quagmire. It's so unfortunate that Nigerian police.
In fact, you have people saying, people praying that May I have nothing whatsoever to do with the police, which is unfortunate. Yes. Which is unfortunate. It happens.
It's very, very unfortunate, you know. And there's our Nigerian police is so unfortunate, so unprofessional. And there is some. I would perhaps you'll agree it's a bit general, that statement. Okay, I won't say all of them, but a great deal of them, great deal of them. Okay. And I must tell you that when the head is rotten, the body is done for.
No, right? I understand what you're saying. Because some of them disappoint us.
Hold on. If you take away this gun they have from them, you find that Nigerian police cannot do anything. And that is too bad. That is too bad. It's just they are, some of them are touts, armed with guns. So they end up doing whatever they want to do because they are hiding ammunition. They are so unprofessional. I believe that those in the top echelons of Nigerian police force, they travel outside and they see police is done in developed world. And they enjoy it. Can they replicate such home? They were so fast to go to the media outlets or media TV stations to exaggerate to hear there are 400 hoodlums. You know, that is the problem. They want to show they are doing something, and they are doing nothing.
Okay, Ebuka, we're going to have to leave it there. Your say. Thank you very much for contributing it. And, well, gentlemen, I can only say that I'm very happy that you guys are off the hook. And I'm so thankful that you came on to share your experience. And it seems to me that you've not given up on the police. You're just angry that you had to go through that. No, of course. And quite frankly, the police should be apologizing to you. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Exactly. If there is anything, I would say we ask of them, especially from the DCP, to come openly and apologize, not only to us, and to any other individual out there that they may have been arrested wrongfully. Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. But I want to thank you very much, Mr. Ayo Francis. Thank you so much. We've run out of time completely. I'm so sorry. Okay. Thank you very much, Ayo and Femi Ajala. Thank you very much. I wish you guys all the best. Thank you very much. And hope you stayed lucky. You never get into that experience again. Thank you very much. I'm Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.